How much does this mean to you?
It means a lot. It really means a lot. I wouldn't have thrown my hat in the ring if it hadn't been, for me, I think, the pinnacle of anything I've ever done. My sport is what drives me and fires me. I'm very lucky. I'm one of those people that wakes up most days knowing since the age of 11 that in one way or another athletics was going to shape my day. And when Lamine announced that he wasn't going to stand again for the term that ends on August the 31st, I thought, this is what I want to do. You know, it's a great honour. You know, we elected a very strong team today, and to sit alongside those guys, men and women, and really sort of shape the future of the sport. It's a massive honour. Great challenge, but a massive honour.
You've won Olympic gold. You've organised a home Olympics. How does this compare?
I think this, for me, is the biggest thing that I've undertaken. I said in my few words to the Congress, trying to capture in 5 minutes 50 years of life in a sport was quite a challenge, but the one point I really did want to make was that, you know, that it is my sport that drives me, that it is the number one Olympic sport, and that we really want to do everything we possibly can to make sure that it is in the best possible shape. And that means attracting more young people, it means finding new sponsors, it means sort of looking at reshaping the calendar a little bit, making sure that people understand what the season means. All these things are going to be fantastic challenges.
What's your number one priority?
I think making sure that the organisation really does function across 214, now 216 federations, and therein lies, you know, the strength but also the challenge. You know, we are probably the most global of sports. 2 more countries joined us this morning, South Sudan, Kosovo. But making sure that the sport does not move ahead at very speed, and bearing in mind that we have Oceania, 20 different countries, territories, islands, and we're sort of trying to figure that out at the same time as harnessing the powerhouses of track and field in Jamaica and the United States and Russia and China, and therein lies the challenge. So making sure that those federations are properly financed to deliver the sport that we know and they know, because they've told us they want to deliver, and to do it in a way that recognises their need, not necessarily what we think they must be doing, sitting at the centre.
As you know, the election happened against a backdrop of allegations of systematic doping and a cover-up in effect by those at the top of the sport. How confident are you that your proposals, a better resourced and independent doping agency, can regain trust?
First of all, those are 2 propositions I don't accept. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, we live in the world of doping in sport. My sport has led the way on that, and it has its clear challenges, and you know, I'm not naive and coy about that. But nor would I remotely accept that at the highest level of the testing processes within the IAAF that we have been sort of asleep on the job. We've led from the front on this, and we have a very proud record, and I will always defend the quality of our teams in Monaco that have been dealing with that. But the proposition that I put forward about an independent anti-doping system is simply that, you know, at the heart of the sport, our sport sits trust and integrity, and if there is a real problem or a perceived problem, we have to deal with it. And actually perceptions are very, very serious, and we need to make sure that there is not a remote place for anybody to go in terms of those perceptions.
You received some criticism for describing some of those accusations as a declaration of war. The IAAF said it was sensationalist to some extent. Do you stand by that, or do you have any regrets about the language you used?
No, I don't have any regrets about the language I used. You know, as I said again to the federations this morning, you know, they know in recent weeks I am in their corner. Their fight is my fight, and I will always defend the probity and integrity of my sport, because I've been in it far too long. I know the people that are in it. I sit alongside them, and they are people that have a zero tolerance to drugs in sport, particularly in track and field, and I think we have a very proud record on what we've achieved in that. We have actually led the way. It's not to say there aren't challenges out there, of course we know there are, but actually the thought that we somehow have been sitting on our hands or being complicit in something is just inaccurate.
One last question, Seb, if I may, sir. We're 3 days away from the flagship event, the World Championships. Inevitably, there'll be some degree of suspicion hanging over this event, given what we've been told and what we've read in recent times. What would your message be to the sporting public, those around the world watching these championships, maybe watching Justin Gatlin win, for example, a 2-time drugs cheat in the 100 metres? What would your message be to those who won't perhaps believe what they see anymore?
Well, they should, and the vast majority of athletes that are coming to these championships do it to the very highest standards of integrity. It's the bedrock of our sport, and they espouse those values in an extraordinary way. And every now and again, you will get a few that choose to step beyond that framework, those rules. That's the same in any organisation. Our responsibility is actually not just to weed out the cheats, it is to protect the rights of the clean athletes to compete openly and fairly and have the trust of the public that come in and watch them. That has, of course, to be always our #1 priority.